Hey, in this video, let's prevent insurance failures. Electrical contractors, this is probably one of the most important videos and information that you need for 2026 if you're just starting out as an electrical contractor, or like one of my friends that's been doing it 20 years like I have and had no clue about some of the insurance issues he could have ran into. This video is brought to you by Ergo Next Insurance, formerly known as Next Insurance, now even better. I'm putting my link right here on the screen in the descriptions, and even by clicking this QR code so that you can get your absolutely free quote from Ergo Next Insurance. It is the actual insurance company I use for both my brick and mortar companies in Los Angeles, California, and here in Montana. Hey, let's get right into the video with my top 3 things that I think you need to know when it comes to your general liability insurance. Let's go. All right, first things first. Tip number 1 is read your insurance policy. I know, right? We're not lawyers, but we need to know what's inside our policy to make sure that we know what's left out or what's not covered by our policy. So first thing I want you to do is, if you're an existing contractor or you have an existing policy, go right now to that PDF, to that email, to that website, and download your policy. I want you to have it as we talk about insurance. Now, I'm not an insurance broker. I have no idea about insurance. All I'm telling you is the experience that I've had over the years on different coverages and coverages that I didn't have, that I needed to have, that I did get, that I want to share with you. So listen, call your insurance broker, your insurance company. They're the professionals to make sure you need this coverage, or even if it's available. You're also going to find out if you can do certain jobs or can't do certain jobs because of this video based on the insurance coverage you have now. So tip number 1 is read your dang policy. Know what's in it, know what's not, and make sure you adjust it as needed. Let's go to tip number 2. Now, tip number 2 to have a shock-proof policy is to find the hidden gaps that could sink your electrical business. These are the gaps in insurance that you probably thought you were covered on, but you're probably not. Do you know how shocked I was when I realized one of these tips I'm going to give you that I didn't even have coverage for? I was working for years with open liability. I could have literally went bankrupt if there was a claim against my insurance on a certain job that I was doing that I had no idea that I wasn't covered on. My broker didn't tell me about, and I found out, I don't even know how, maybe from an estimate that I gave, and the company that I was going to work for required a certain insurance. That's what 21 years of being an electrical contractor and bringing it to you on this channel does. Can I take another quick second to plug the only community right here? Click this link. There's descriptions down below. The only community 100% dedicated to you, the electrical contractor, is here. It's the 360 Electrician community. It's absolutely free. These are the things we talk about in that community. So, yep, shameless plug again. Click that link right there on the QR code or the description down below or right there on the screen and get into the community. So once I found out about this, I literally started sharing it on the channel, and it's been several years that I really haven't talked about it, and I felt like it's time to talk about it now. Gap number 1 is probably the biggest violation y'all do thinking you're covered, and that is working on the roof of a building. Yep, you heard me right. What are you talking about, Jeff? Did you know that some or most insurance policies don't cover you when you take jobs or work a certain height or above? Not to mention taking an extension ladder and putting it on the side of a house to change Christmas light receptacles on the eve. Are you covered for working on the roof? I'm gonna bet you 50% of you guys had no idea that you're not covered after a certain height in your electrical contracting business. Now, you would have thought that's a no-brainer. I'm getting an insurance policy as an electrician. Shouldn't they know that I go on roofs and structures? No, that's not how insurance works. There are some service businesses that only do service inside the house. Solar companies have to go on the roof. If you're a commercial electrical contractor, it's totally different than maybe an appliance contractor. You guys got to know this stuff. And why is working at height such a big deal? Well, obviously, more damage. Maybe if there's a spark and something catches on fire like a shingle, that leads to more liability. There's a bunch of stuff that exposes you on the roof or at height that's going to cost you more. And by the way, if you drop something from a 12-foot ladder and it hits a floor of a residential building, it's gonna crack the tile, it's gonna break hardwood floor, and there you go. Something at 6 feet might not do it. You understand, you gotta get in the mind of the insurance companies and how they see the liability. All right, I hope that tip helped, and if you're already shocked that might be an issue, leave a comment that you are shocked that number 1 is even an issue. Let's go to tip number 2. Tip number 2 got me, and it got me big time. This was the coverage I had no idea I didn't have, but I absolutely needed. Are you ready? HOAs, homeowners associations. They often require special endorsements from your insurance company. It's not usually standard to cover you doing work for HOAs. What? That's right, I was doing work for years on HOAs. It was bread and butter work. That means that I'm remodeling the clubhouse, I'm changing out the pool light, I'm doing landscape and parking lot lighting. I'm not covered by general liability insurance. Jeff, you must be out of your mind. Hey, let me explain. Now, this is how I came to understand it. So check with your own broker or agent, but here's how it goes. When you come and sign a contract with me, Mr. Jeff, on my single family residence, or even my business, you're dealing in a one-on-one contract. An HOA is a homeowners association. The person that called you is probably the president of the association, and they tell you simply to change a pool light. And you say, sure, let's do it. Now, I will talk about paperwork later on because paperwork complements insurance, and we'll talk about that. And you sign a contract with this guy, and you get into the pool light, and then you find out that there's a major issue with the pool light, that the conduit is unpullable, it's got a deck box, it's unsafe, there's additional work that needs to get done, completely unsafe to use the pool, and you shut the pool down, and it's the middle of summer. How many homeowners have a right to that pool? If it's a building of 100, then 1/100th of that pool belongs to that tenant, and then another 1/100th, and on and on and on. How many potential lawsuits do you have if 25 people say that they needed to use the pool for a party that they were going to throw, and now they have to throw it somewhere else and it costs them a couple of $1,000, or any other excuse or reason you could find? You have the potential of 100 lawsuits for that one job. Ta-da! Why insurance companies don't want you to work for HOAs. You expose them to a ton of lawsuits on the same job. Therefore, you need the special endorsement, or you need a rider or an add-on to your policy. Again, I'm not an insurance agent. I'm just the messenger to help you level up in the trade. I hope you appreciate that, and smash that like right now before we go on, and hit that follow if you're getting something out of this video. That's what I'm here to tell you. So tip number 2, you need to check if you can work on multi-owned units. This doesn't only apply to HOAs, it also applies to commercial condos. Those are commercial units that have 10 units in there, and each person owns 1/10 of that unit. But you've been hired to do the parking lot lights, and God forbid something happens and you got to shut that property down, or a light falls and does whatever, you could have the potential of 10 lawsuits. So be careful. Tip number 2, that's a big one, and I even failed knowing that one maybe 10 years into the electrical trade. All right, let's go to tip number 3. All right, tip number 3 is going to be one of my favorites. Why? Because I have literally the only course called Paperwork for Electrical Contractors on my website, www.the360electrician.com. Click the links below, or go ahead and click that QR code. You'll go right to it and take the ultimate course for paperwork for electrical contractors. Paperwork must cover you, blanket you, boost you. Tip number 3 is that your paperwork must complement the gaps in your insurance, or the things that are not covered in your insurance. That's right. If you do not have good paperwork, and my paperwork course, by the way, is 4 pages long. I do have some bonuses that you can reach out in coaching that I'll tell you about. But basically, your paperwork covers you in those gaps or those areas that maybe you are covered, but you definitely don't want to claim. Some of those would be when you get into a job and you put on your contract that you're going to replace all the cloth wire in black pipe and re-device and put a new panel. And you get started with that job and you realize there's crushed or unpullable conduit, or maybe even a buried junction box. You're gonna go back to the client and say, hey client, I'm sorry, we started the work. Inside your wall somewhere, the conduit is either crushed or there's a buried junction box, but either case is unpullable. And they're gonna say, well, tough luck. You told me you're gonna rewire this house for $26,500, and that's what I signed for. Yes, you did. But did you read the fine print? Should I read it for you? Right there in the paperwork, let me read it to you. In the event of existing crushed or unpullable conduit or hidden junction boxes, an additional charge will apply. And by the way, no stucco or drywall patching or painting is included in this proposal unless indicated above, and still may be additional. That's right here. So tip number 3 is, do you have legitimate paperwork? Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not telling you to copy this verbatim, but what I am doing is giving you a sample of my exact contract that is 100% editable with your logo. You go to your state, your attorney, whatever you want to do, and you change anything and everything you feel you need to. Now, I always say, well, Jeff, can I just use it as is? No, I would never endorse that. I am not a lawyer. This is not professional advice. This is just my advice to you. But I will tell you, running a red light is illegal in LA and it's illegal in Montana. So a lot of this is running red lights. So you're gonna probably be able to use a lot of it, which is gonna save you a ton of money from your lawyer having to edit it. Now, one last thing, don't trust ChatGTP to do it for you, okay? I've crossed all your T's and dotted all your I's to get you into the right direction. My goal is to get you from 0 to 360 as fast as possible. So contractors, if you enjoyed this video and you got a lot out of it, please go ahead and do me a favor. It's really the only way you can repay me is, of course, smash that like and follow, but head over to Ergo Next Insurance using my link right here down below. Click this QR code or in the description below. Dude, trust me, use the Ergo Next Insurance Advantage. They're gonna give you COI, Certificate of Insurance Generation, right on the website. It is unbelievable how fast I can go from bid to providing insurance to winning the jobs. There's no other company like it. My old insurance companies, I had to call up, I had to email, I had to wait hours, even days for them to send me back a COI. You wanna make changes? You wanna get more coverage, less coverage, depending on what you're doing? It's 1, 2, 3 clicks away. So stop wasting time with your other insurance companies and give Ergo Next a try and level up from 0 to 360. We'll see you guys on the next one.